Happy Sunday, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Stoppage Time Penalty Show with your host, Tobrise. Hope everything is well. And again, this show is, I think it's going to be really, really interesting. We have Coach Barry that's going to be coming on. We have Coach Ahmed. We have Marlon P. We have Micah. And then we have Paul Barrett as well and Emeka as well in the background. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Paul, Coach Ahmed, and Emeka, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Very well, thank you.
All is good.
Wow. Well, hey, I mean, again, before I kind of start anything off, please like and subscribe. And again, Paul Barrett represents Independent FC Vets, so please go on to Instagram and look up Independent FC. Coach Ahmed has his own channel again on IG. Please go and search for Coach Ahmed. And Emeka is, I don't know where you are.
Fleet Town. So yeah, check out Fleet Town Instagram as well.
There you go. So let's go straight into it. The Liverpool season, failure or success? And again, we'll be talking about this topic for, I'd say, a good 10 to 15 minutes. Let me start with the diehard Liverpool fan, the man that was born in Liverpool, the man who I call the Simon Cowell of grassroots football, Paul Barrett. I mean, I would kind of literally love to kind of get your opinion about Liverpool season.
The title says failure or success. Can't be a failure. All I'm hearing are all these dead teams talking about, you didn't win Champions League, all these dead teams. You didn't win nothing. You didn't win nothing this season. So how can you bant Liverpool fans who've just gone and won 2 cups and were beaten in the Champions League final? That doesn't make any sense. You haven't got no banter. That doesn't make any sense. Of course it was a success. It shouldn't even be a topic tonight. It doesn't make no sense because the Mecca's he's laughing, smiling, because he knows he ain't got nothing to come back with because his season was dead. Whatever team he supports, his season was dead. I know he's not a Man City supporter, so whoever he supports, his season was dead.
Emeka?
I mean, it's not wrong, but yeah, it's not a success. I wouldn't say it's a failure either. I'd say, yeah, winning the FA Cup ultimately is not a big achievement for where Liverpool are now. It's not an achievement. Are we lying? Let's be honest. If you were to take 2 of the cups you could have won, the 2 that you won would be 3rd and 4th on your list. Correct. Yeah. So it's we're not saying it's like, oh my God, you had a great season. We didn't have an awful season. It was just like, for a Liverpool fan, for where you probably came into the season thinking what you're going to do, getting 3rd and 4th on your list, you're not going to be like, we did great. But at the same time, if someone's like, you had a shit season, you didn't. Like, ultimately, you were close. You could have won the quad. Like a week ago, you could have won the quad. So you're right. It wasn't like, you can't really banter. They had a good season. But I wouldn't say if I was a Liverpool fan myself, I'd be like, we had a great season. I'll be a little bit disappointed considering how close you were to getting all 4 to only come out with 2. But you're right. As an Arsenal fan, I can't chat. Well done.
Exactly.
I'm not bantering. I'm not one of those that would banter. But I would say if I was a Liverpool fan myself, I would be disappointed.
Coach Ahmed, I would love to get your opinion.
Well, I'm an Arsenal fan as well. So listen, I'm a good Arsenal fan. I don't really banter anyone, and maybe I can't at the moment. Maybe that's why. But look, I always look at the question and I think to myself, how do you measure failure and success though? We look at the trophies that could have been won, and there was 2 out of 4 that was won, and you know, obviously if all 4 was won, then everyone's going to say it's a success. But I mean, you got to kind of look at it in a bigger picture. You know, ultimately, obviously, all the teams compete in the league, in the cups, Champions League, whatever it is, to win the competition. Like all of us here, we'll win. That's all we want to do. But I think if you look at the bigger picture, Liverpool's competing against Man City in the league. There's only going to be 1 winner out of those 2, and it has been for the last couple of years. And then Champions League, you know, that can go either way. They've won the obviously FA Cup, and God, I've forgotten the other. Is it Carabao Cup still?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's for me as a manager. Again, you want to win everything that you're in, but sometimes that can be a little bit unrealistic as well because of the teams that you're competing against at those levels. So I'm kind of probably sitting on the fence a little bit. For me, I think it's a success to be competing on all four fronts. And okay, they haven't won it all four cups, all four trophies. For me, I look at it as success because they've also had players that they've integrated into the first team, new players that have come in and done really well straight away. They probably haven't had as much injuries as last year. You know, I know that they kind of suffered about with that last year. So I know that's one of those things where sometimes you might not have as much control over, but sometimes you never know. They might have looked at that and maybe they've done certain things better. You know, maybe the training load, you know, maybe the recovery phase. So there's lots of things that can go into it. And I know the question is probably more based on like how many trophies did Liverpool win? They've won 2 out of 4, but they'll compete in all 4. But for me, I'd probably say success.
Cool.
Can I ask a question?
Go on. Go ahead. Yeah, go on. Ask away.
So just on what you were saying, can you tell me why it was unrealistic for them to win all 4 when they got to the Champions League final and they lost the league by 1 point? Why would you say it's unrealistic to do all 4 when they were that close? And they were clearly going to win all 4 as well.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and maybe unrealistic wasn't the right word. But what I mean by that, you know, we like yourself and like I support Arsenal, and there's Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham, all the other teams, and there's only one team that can win the league. And I know Liverpool was there competing with Man City head to head, and you know they probably done everything that they could do, but they didn't do enough. They didn't win the league, but they, you know, from an Arsenal perspective, from a neutral perspective, you think, wow, you know, it's gone to the last day, and then it's kind of gone back and forth on even on the last day with obviously Man City coming by and then Liverpool then obviously getting that win on the last day. So what I mean by that is that sometimes, you know, it's just not your time. Like it's just, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit of luck. I mean, yesterday I thought Liverpool deserved to win in the Champions League, you know, and in terms of the Premier League, it could have been either team. There wasn't either of those 2 teams deserved to win the league, but it was Man City.
Cool. And to Coach Paul, and again relating it to grassroots to like vets, Independent finished second and are now in Division 1. However, of course, you know, with like how the season was like going, they were literally on to win the league, and literally a lot of people would actually view that as a failure because of literally the run that Independent made. But of course, you would see it as a success because you guys got promoted, right? And literally, how like do you view teams and literally view people that would say Independent coming second was a failure?
First of all, who are the people that saying it was a failure? Are they in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place in the division? 2 teams win the prize. Santos deserved to win it. We got second. We go up. So at the start of the season, that was our main priority. So in-house, it's a win. Doesn't matter what out-house says, because, you know, 3rd, 4th, well, I won't say 3rd, whoever at the, you know, don't come up with us. So outside, doesn't really matter what they say. In-house, we knew what we wanted. That's what we got. We build again. Winners, they deserved it. Said that from the start, said it on the day, said it when I saw them 2 weeks ago. They deserved it. The league don't lie. They deserved it. We came second, but we still got the prize.
And to coach, I mean, so let's see, you like managing and like coach Grand Athletic that won the London Cup last year, and literally did the league and cup double this year, yeah. Correct? So
last season, first season,
yeah. So literally, how would you view your team season? And you know, did the cup loss in the London Cup affect you as a manager, and literally how like did it affect the players?
This year's been an interesting one. I mean, it was our first season last year, and you know we done remarkably well. Massive achievement to win the double in the first season. But I think what was different to last year as well, a lot of the players that we had available, we didn't have as much this season. And that was probably predominantly to like COVID. With COVID being the way it was, there was a lot more players available. And then with COVID kind of going, oh, sorry, bear me 1 minute. Hi, can you still hear me?
Your side? Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Apologies. I just had something come up across the screen. Sorry about that. Yeah, so for me, I was disappointed this season. As I said a minute ago, when you're in all the cups and trophies league, you want to win. And I wasn't just, it's easy to base it last season because, you win the league and the cup in your first season. So you think, it's easy to think, right, we could do that again. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to have high standards. And I did want to win the London Cup again. I did want to win the league again. The league's a little bit political at the moment. I won't go into that, with what's gone on there. But in regards to the Nationals and we was also in the Surrey Cup as well. Mm-hmm. We was in the Surrey Cup as well. We could have easily, for me, won more trophies. We came up against a very good Beatties team. So if you kind of put it into context like Man City and Liverpool, that's for me how it was a little bit with the Beatties games. We come up against a very good side, and in both the games that we played Beatties in, which we lost in both the Nationals and London Cup, we both first half performances. If you watched it, you'd think that we was probably going to be the team that would have went through, and probably the team that did win that game. And it was just a game of two halves. And at the end of 90 minutes, if you don't win the game at the end of 90 minutes, obviously you're not going to go through. And it was very close in both games. So in order to not get more than what we've achieved this season in terms of those trophies, I am a little bit disappointed. I think the Beatties games maybe affected us a little bit. I think being in all the cups affected us a little bit as well, because it's been a long season, and I think when you're in quite a lot of cups, we've then playing catch up in the league as well, and we didn't actually finish. We didn't actually get a chance to play some of the teams in our league because by the time we got round to it, the league was more or less finished, and some teams were just on holiday. That they weren't interested anymore. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. And to America, that's kind of still active on the kind of non-league circuit. Again, Liverpool being like in like all of the cups and like having like the squad that they have. Of course, now like in hindsight, like a lot of people can say, Klopp should have rotated the team a lot more to keep players fresh. In like your side, if like you guys were competing in all of the competitions that you guys have been entered, how would like you approach going into every game as either a starter or someone that's on the bench or like in the squad?
I think it depends on, when it comes to the goals, it depends on what you're kind of thinking about at the start of the season. Like I was saying to Paul earlier, I think Klopp probably did prioritise the Champions League. You prioritise, like in order all the cups you're in, what you'll prefer to win. I think even Klopp did it. You could tell he was prioritising the Champions League with the squad deep out of Southampton. I think depending on what type of game it is, if you're like for my team, promotion was what we were going for. So we prioritised the league over like a cup game. Whereas in other teams who win the league all the time, they will actually know what, we can take our foot off in the league. We'll probably still finish quite high. It's the cups we want to win. Mm-hmm. So it completely depends. I think it's all dependent on the goals you have at the start of the season. As I say, for my team, it was definitely promotion. So the league was more important. You'd happily go out of the cups. You'd happily put your youth team out in the cups to make sure that your first team can, go further in the league.
Cool. And just a quick answer. Of course, 2 Arsenal fans and 1 Liverpool fan, and I'll start with Emeka first. What's the main objective for Arsenal next season?
Top 4.
Wow. Okay, Coach Amit.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing.
And to Paul.
Well, we aim higher than top 4 because that's a given. So win the league.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's levels. There's levels, guys. There's levels. You know what I mean? There's levels.
Oh,
Not to you, coach, because I respect you. It's to Emeka. That's the one. That's the one I'm bantering. Not to you, coach. I respect you too much, coach.
I'll show Liverpool love. What's the problem?
No. You wasn't. No. You wasn't.
To be kind of honest with you guys, anyone that's kind of watching now, we can have a WhatsApp group and it was pretty feisty. So I think this kind of conversation is very it's a lot more I'd say a lot more subdued. But you know what?
Baz, we miss you. We miss you. I flew the legal team in, ready to roast you up, boy, and you bottled it out. You bottled out.
Oh dear, it's funny. It's funny. So again, please like and subscribe. We are going to go on to the next topic, which is safety of players. Of course, it's been highlighted, especially now, with the playoffs and promotion and relegation. Like a lot of professional players have been assaulted. Patrick Vieira, of course, the altercation that kind of happened to him. And I just wanted to kind of, talk about this subject from grassroots all the way up to the elite level. And I'll start with Emeka. Have you ever faced a pitch invasion? If so, how was it? If you haven't, how do you think you would act, especially if you're away from home?
I have. I mean, it's only a few hundred people. I wouldn't count it. It's not the same as the scenes that we've seen. I think that would be, if I was a professional footballer, I think I'd be petrified, especially if I was away from home. But I think in those kind of situations where it's a few hundred people, I think it's not too bad. But away from home, especially at grassroots level, boy, I'm running. I'm lucky. I'm the quickest in the team. I'm straight to the changing room. There's no need to be out there, because as we've seen, you just don't really know what people, what goes through their head. There's just some nuts people out there. I think a lot of it is to do with alcohol, drugs. Because I can't imagine if Patrick Vieira or whoever the other guy, I forgot his name, or Billy Sharp was like walking down the street, that people would try that. It's only at football people, for some reason, they just feel they have the right to do that to people. But if you see Patrick Vieira in the street, you're not going to chat to him. I know that much.
And to Coach Paul, what do you think the FA or the Premier League can actually do to kind of make sure that, again, things like this don't happen? And I don't want to just kind of push aside the championship, but of course we've seen it at Man City and Crystal Palace, and also relating it back to grassroots. Have you felt not threatened, but slightly uncomfortable in certain grounds, and literally people, and literally, of course, your main aim is to protect your players. I mean, have you kind of seen any altercations?
Grassroots, we don't feel intimidated anywhere. Our team, so no. With the Premier League, they need to be more communication with the police. I mean, the Patrick Vieira thing, just taking that one, that was ridiculous. No one thought, what if Everton, the guy's got to walk across the pitch. Should have been at least 3 policemen with him. I mean, little things like that. You just wonder, what are the FA doing? What, do they really think about football? You just have to wonder sometimes in the Premier League. They will sort it out. They'll sort it out quicker than they will racism. That's for sure. That is for sure. We talk about that in the barbershop. Not that I go there very often, but we talk about that in the barbershop. They'll sort that out quicker than they'll do racism. Trust me. They'll bring something in. It's just people that's been having a head on their shoulders with a bit of sense. If these grounds have got the changing rooms where you've got to walk across the pitch, you've got to have police around the end. You've got to have police. Simple. Shouldn't have Patrick Vieira walking across the pitch by himself, defend for himself. That's ridiculous.
That's facts. And to you, Coach, you've spoken about Beatties, and let's say Grando in that conversation regarding the kind of YouTube scene. And like I think we've all, well, some of us, well, I'm going to assume that all of us have watched the Beatties SC Dons game where there was over 2,000 fans, and like there was, you know, there was no issues, I believe, but again there was no security as well. Is it kind of something that worries you now, you know, as the kind of YouTube scene and like a lot of these teams are now filming games and like now fans are coming all, you know, all across nationwide and even worldwide?
It's not something that worries me, but I think the more we kind of talk about it now, and I think it's a good question that you've kind of referred it to kind of Sunday football and YouTube teams, the bigger it's going to get, there's going to be more kind of stake on the line in terms of, you know, teams wanting to win things and wanting to achieve more. We've already seen, obviously, like, you know, there's always been talk between South and East or South and North or West and South, wherever it might be. So sometimes it's like you're still kind of trying to rep your area as well. There must be a little bit of that in you as well. But from what I've seen so far, and I've not been at every game, you know, at that kind of grassroots level, it seems to be, you know, safe and respectful towards each other. But we're dealing with people at the end of the day, isn't it? You know, people you don't know what you're going to get from each and every one of us. You know, all it takes is one thing to be said or one thing to happen, and, you know, the worst can go down. So it doesn't worry me, but I think it might be something that might need to be considered in the future, especially in well, I mean, how do you even say? I was about to say, you know, in those big games, you know, there's a lot of YouTube teams out there, you know, and in each and every one of them in their own right will say that they're one of the bigger teams or one of the best teams in London. So it's hard to kind of plan and prepare for that, but it's definitely something that needs to be considered, because sometimes it is a bit mad. You know, you're in those games as a manager and a coach, and, you know, I've gone running on with players, you know, celebrating the goal and celebrating the victory, and you've got lots of kids around as well. You don't want to put a negative on it and kind of kill the vibe. But as we've seen it happen in the pro game, and I know it is different, but it's not that much different because it can happen anywhere. You're just dealing with people. It takes someone to come to the game and might be a little bit drunk or, you know, whatever it might be, and it just takes something, you know, one small thing to go wrong, and then it can escalate quite quickly.
Because I mean, you know, that's how I'd say the younger generation probably conduct themselves, because they see other people do it on TV at the pro game, and then they think, okay, well, if it's all right for fans to run onto the pitch at Man City, then I can run onto the pitch at the SC Dons stroke, you know, independent game or grand game. And again, you know, it's a completely different level where, you know, you are, you know, out in the open with the elements, you know, and again with kind of social media, people can view certain things differently, and, you know, like the tone of language can be taken differently as well. So it's actually and this is an open question. Do you think like grassroots leagues actually take this kind of YouTube scene seriously? And again, this is an open question to anyone.
What do you mean, take it seriously?
As in, you know, like the teams like Grand or SC Dons, you know, do they actually kind of look at games and actually think, okay, you know, this like game is a big one. We've like got to have this like ref, or looking at safety issues. And again, you know, even with the vet side of it, you know, if they kind of look at independent and Santos, think, okay, you know what, we need a strong referee. We need certain things around, you know, just to make sure things just don't happen. I mean, is it something that league committees actually look at?
Well, I can only talk about vets. With us and Santos, there would never be any problems. Only if someone from the outside was to try and generate something. We had linesmen and we had a ref because the game was that important, and that was fine. That's all we needed because we all know each other. So, you know, when the whistle goes, yeah, we're trying to get an inch, you know, advantage. But when the whistle's done, we're all friends because it's not that big a deal. It's just football in the end of the day. Monday morning, you go back to work or wherever you're doing. So it's not that big a deal. For the YouTube, they should take it serious because some of them, majority of them teams are proper teams, with proper players, boy. So they should take it serious. If they're not taking, they should, because those teams, top teams.
Yeah, T. I think where I'll disagree would be where you were talking about people are seeing it on the TV and then they'll replicate it at grassroots games. I think the difference is why people at Vieira and that are getting targeted, and like even when Grealish got punched, when you are such a big public figure, you can't react. So I think he's found something, okay, I can go and I can hit Grealish, hit Vieira, he can't do anything back to me. Whereas, as Paul was saying, I think when it comes to Sunday League, if you try that, you try that on a Sunday,
stamped out. You get stamped out, boy.
It's trouble. That's why I think you don't necessarily need that, because I think you have more. The players will take the justice on that person.
Exactly.
So, because ultimately, I think, we're just men at the end of the day, and we don't have any sponsorships or contracts that are tied to us. It's more just man to man. Like, if you're going to disrespect me, then it is what it is at that point.
Cool. And coach, Amit?
Yeah, I think both of Emeka and Paul answered the questions really well. And I'm just going back to what Paul was saying, which is a good point. A lot of the players know each other, so they've kind of got that respect for each other already because of the kind of Saturday teams that they maybe play together at or against. So there's that respect there for majority of them, and it is very much like a community as well. It's a community of players, players from London repping. Everyone wants, their Sunday YouTube team to be the best team, and that player wants to be part of it, and they want to play a pivotal part. And then obviously the managers like myself and all the other managers that manage at those individual teams, they want to be the manager that wins the league, wins the cup, wins whatever trophies in front of you. So, and in a way, like majority, I speak to a lot of the coaches and a lot of the players, and wherever my aspirations, go, a lot of those players I would be interested in. So you're always trying to kind of network as well. And in a way, as you know, you're always trying to just show your best self and be professional and be respectful, because you never know, your paths might meet. So just trying, but that's kind of players and management. But people away from that, that's when it can sometimes maybe go the other way. And it's how you kind of control, manage that, which could be difficult, which Paul again mentioned earlier. If it's other people generating stuff, that's when it can get a little bit out of hand.
Cool. Guys, thank you so much, Ashley. And again, I don't know how many of you guys are going to be on the next segment, which I'll be talking about the Beckenham Cup. But to Paul, could you kind of please tell everyone where they can find you, and also the team that you coach?
Independent Vets on Instagram, Southern Area Vets League. We're on YouTube. They can get contact through you as well. Amateur footballer platform. We'll be doing our pre-season soon. We'll be putting that on social media. If you're 35 and you want to play football, it's not what you think. Vets football. It's not what you think. Come down.
Especially at Div 1 now. Especially at Div 1.
Come down.
I was speaking to Tobrise. I was speaking to Tobrise about my boots the other day. Just come down and watching that Vets game. Just got me interested, man. But I've just got too much going on.
Yeah. So come down. Bring your boots and see what you can do. You never know.
And Coach Amit, where can they find you? And also as well, you've got things going on in the background as well.
Yeah, so Instagram, coach.armit81. I think that's right. I never get it right. And then in terms of the business that I run, Coach Armit Elite Football Development, which is one-to-one sessions and group sessions, predominantly with kids, but also with adults, working with a lot of young men and older men that are kind of trying to keep fit for pre-season and go back to their semi-pro clubs. And then, and then running some trials for some under 11s and under 12s as part of the Coach Armit Elite Football Development. So that's going to be taking place from 8th of June as well. So that information you find on Instagram, which I did post something today. And yeah, Grand Athletic. So Grand Athletic, Grand Athletic's got their own Instagram as well. And yeah, managing there.
Cool. And actually, before Emeka says anything, I think Coach Paul and Coach Ahmed, they've kind of played down their credentials because I know these two guys, like they are very influential.
No, Coach Ahmed, not me.
No,
Coach
literally,
Ahmed.
both of you have. Both of
Head
you
and
have.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Head and shoulders.
But literally, both of you have kind of underplayed your credentials. But again, we will dig into that later.
You're too kind to put me in the same sentence as Coach Ahmed. I should not be in the same sentence as him.
No, listen, we've all got our attributes. We're all capable of doing stuff like that. We're all we all leading, man. We're all leading in a positive way, and we just need more individuals like us out there, just keeping that positivity and just helping and developing people and players. And that's what it's about at the end of the day. And hopefully we can achieve our ambition at the same time.
Cool. And Emeka, how can people find you?
Not me, but Fleet Town. So it's step 5. Step 5. Yeah, I don't want no issues. Don't want no beef. So,
what league is that in, Emeka? What league is that you play in?
It's Combine Counties Prem.
Okay, wicked. Fleet Town. Okay.
Yeah. Step 5. So on Instagram is Fleet Town FC. So yeah, anyone looking for a new challenge at Step 5 football, why not check them out?
And like with Emeka again, Emeka's kind of played down his football ability because I used to manage Emeka, and I think Emeka was playing right back for me, and he scored a hat trick at right back, and literally he didn't shirk any challenges. Like I think it was left foot, right foot, and literally people were literally on the sideline thinking, "Who the hell is this kid?" Literally, like he was just. I was like, I just kind of played it down myself. But Emeka, again, you are playing down your ability. You are playing down your ability, and I'm gonna kind of get you around my sides, and we need a few football challenges as well.
Oh my God!
Get me up against Nana, please, because I saw him destroy you, and you let down the family. So. Let me take a manner and restore our family name.
Oh, there you go.
Did you play right back, Emeka? Is that where you play?
Yeah, right back or centre half.
Yeah. Okay. And you said earlier you're quick. Because you said if you was on the pitch, you'd have old school, just dust out.
That's it. If you're not getting the ball, you're getting the man. So you're not getting past me either way. So.
No, and you know what? Like, and again, it's like not because it's family. I genuinely say, like, I haven't seen like a player actually get past Emeka at all. And again, like he's a very slight individual, but like he doesn't shirk away from.
Well, this guy, come on, man.
Yeah.
I've been trying. I've been on the pounded jam. I've been trying.
Oh Jesus!
I'm getting there.
Oh dear, but honestly, guys, thank you so much.
No problem.
And again, if you kind of want to find out more about them, please either contact me, and again, contact anyone around like the vet scene or the open age scene. Again, just kind of please and let me know. So we are gonna go straight into the like vet scene, talking about the Beckenham Hospital Cup final that was played yesterday, and I've got Micah.
Yeah, that's right, Tobrise. Yeah, said it perfectly.
Cool. How are you doing, sir?
Still salty, but I'm good.
Cool. Well, I think Marlon should be appearing anytime soon. So I want your brief analysis about yesterday's game, and then I will literally probably talk about what I saw.
For me, better team won on the day. Our manager Billy set out a plan, and for me, as a team, we didn't execute the plan well enough for us to get the result in the end.
Because literally, what I saw, especially in the warm up, because again, it's the first time that I've seen Hollinson play, And I was kind of down there to kind of, get some research because, it's kind of very unfair for me to talk about your team if I haven't, if I've not seen you play.
Understandable, yeah.
And literally, when I saw you guys warming up, like there was intensity, there was energy, there was passion, and there was aggression. And then when I was looking over at Charcoal, like they were kind of still doing their warm up, but I was thinking, on a big pitch like that, like Hollington have got a real good chance. I mean, how was you feeling in the warm up?
Me personally, I've been struggling with an injury, but it's not an excuse. I still went on the pitch. And I left it all on the pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just how I play. But I felt fine. If I weren't fine, I would have been on the pitch.
Mm. And I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that your position isn't normally a right back.
So I can play right back. When I used to play semi-pro, that was my position. But I still can get about on the pitch. And this season, I haven't played defensive. I've played more attacking. So yeah. I've been playing on the wings, up front, in the middle sometimes.
Because again, please correct me if I'm wrong. The tactic from your management was to contain Finney, and you did that. And literally, you did that really well. But again, finding out that you're more of an attacking threat, especially how potentially slow Charcoal were. I mean, was it? Well, I'm not gonna say if it, was it something that you agreed with, but do you think, in general, there was an opportunity to actually get at the defense with more mobility and more pace?
Yeah, 100%. But at the end of the day, when you play in a team and your manager comes up with a plan, it's respect, and you do what your manager asks you to do. I could have been arrogant and said, no, I don't want to do that, but I'll do anything. Any team I play for, I'll do whatever's required of me. But I don't know if you remember, but I think I don't know if it's before they scored or after they scored. I think Darren played me through and I had no right getting to the ball. And as soon as I saw that, I believed there was something there.
Yeah. And so I don't know, he's, I don't know if he's watching, but your goalkeeper, let me say it, I think 3 goalkeeper mistakes, 2 obvious mistakes. After the second goal, it just looked like everyone just seemed so deflated. What was said at halftime, and of course, what was said at full time? And did the goalkeeper say anything?
Look, at any level of football you play, goalkeeper errors are always the ones that everyone looks at. But at the end of the day, not anyone on a football pitch can go and stand in between a goal and do the job in it. Obviously, he didn't want to make a mistake. He didn't want to make an error, but he did. But at the same time, we still had time and the belief that we could turn it around. Obviously, after coming out in the second half and conceding the second goal, it naturally deflated us. And I think maybe it just looked like we gave up.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. After their second goal, it just looked like an exhibition game. It looked like a friendly game, and there was probably I was a little bit disappointed with the Wizard because of course I've kind of seen him play for the Wall, and I've seen the quality, but he went missing, and literally I'm not gonna lie, it looked like a lot of your team were almost like deer in headlights. It was like more of we want this game to finish rather than let's see if we can get a result, at 2-0 down. Because even at 2-0 down, there's still a chance, but they would just looked like there was no fight.
Yeah, I think we worked hard up until that second goal. We did work hard, definitely. I felt like maybe if they don't score that first goal going into the second half and we go in at halftime 0-0, it's a different game and anything can happen. But again, all I can say is the better team won on the day.
I think it'd be unfair for me to ask you about the referee, but I will say that the referee definitely made his mark really early. And there was a couple of decisions that I disagreed with, and there was a couple of decisions where I felt if like he booked someone for something so small, then a red card should have been shown in certain situations. I mean, what was your thought about the situations that I was talking about?
I think it was lucky in that instant. I think maybe another referee, it's a different scenario, but look, it's a game of two halves, and the ref didn't ruin the game. I don't personally think he ruined the game. And if, let's just say, it went our way and he did get the red card or whatever, got sent off for that altercation, I don't know. Is it an excuse? I don't know. Like, I don't believe in excuses, personally.
Mm-hmm. And can I ask why you came off with about 15 minutes to go?
Oh, so basically my ankle was in bits and the painkiller started to wear off. And I didn't want to make it any worse than I already was. But yeah, again, I did it for my team, innit? So
yeah, love that. And to kind of Danny, see, you know what? Danny's actually on this stream, and again, Danny, you was very lucky. You was very lucky to stay on the pitch, because I think literally everyone saw the clash of heads, and because you was on a yellow card already, I think the referee realized that and didn't want to, exactly what you were saying before. I don't think the referee spoiled the game, but he could have easily put out another yellow, because that was blatantly a yellow card. But you know what? Again, as you said before, the best team won. Shugs has come in and said you and Craig were the best players by far. Could you talk about Craig's quality?
I played with Craig for years. He plays very much like myself. He's energy, can get about on the pitch, loves a tackle, and just has quality. When you give him the ball, you can always rely on him.
Cool. And Danny's come back. You just stood there, mate. No headbutts were thrown. Okay, yeah. Listen, okay. Well, you know what? Let's just kind of keep it, like that. But let's kind of talk about Hollington anyway now. So you guys won Division 3. How was it in Division 3 for you guys?
It was good. It was fun. I think obviously the results and how we won the league, we went unbeaten. The way we won it, you could probably say it was a step down for us, but at the end of the day, that's where we was put. We can only play against and who we're given. For me, I kind of prioritized Saturdays playing with the vets, because I was playing Sundays before that, and I'm too old now. I can't do both, so I kind of just gave up the Sundays and concentrated on playing with these guys. And once I think I played about 2-3 games, took my time to warm up, kind of thing. Got a bad injury. I really damaged my knee, but like everyone, I took maybe 3-4 weeks off, strapped it up, brought my way back into the team, and then we was just flying.
Actually, something I want to say in the final, and actually I know Charcoal are also on this stream. You're a very good player, but they played the wrong tactic on the day and restricted you playing so defensively. But again, exactly what you said before, you will do exactly what the manager says, which is absolutely right. However, something that you definitely outshone Charcoal on the day was support. There was a lot more supporters for Hollington than there were for Charcoal.
Definitely. We have I think for me, what hurt was, you play a whole season, you get to finals, and then you bring your friends, your family. Everyone brings their friends and family. Obviously, you want to win the game, but the support was crazy. I can't be any happier on that front.
Yeah, amazing. And now you're in Division 2. Are there kind of any teams that in Division 2? Are there any games that you're kind of looking forward to? And
Catford, obviously, I know quite a few people that play for them. Who else? I'm trying to think who else is in Division 2 that I can't really think of anyone. But in most of the divisions, I know some people that have played for a lot of teams over the years. But for me, it's just get the season started and let's go.
Yeah, love that. And where can people find you? And I'd love to get a little cheeky prediction where like you think Hollington are going to finish next season.
I have Instagram, but I'll be honest, you don't need to follow me. Just follow the Vets Instagram. HFC Vets with a Z. Predictions. Look, at the end of the day, I have belief in myself. I have belief in my team. And after the season we've had, it would be a shame to go up and underachieve. I'm not going to say we're going to, walk the league. We ain't going to beat everyone every week, but we'll give it a good go. We're not gonna embarrass ourselves and be that team that goes up a division. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, see, look, it's not gonna happen."
Yeah, love that. And Shugs has kind of come in and said, "Was Scott and Alfie injured? Craig should have been in midfield."
I don't know the whole ins and outs of that. It's not for me to get involved. The manager picks the team, talks to his players. That's what I'm gonna say on that.
Love that. See, you're BT Sky trained, man. I love it. Honestly, like, thank you kind of so much for like coming on.
No worries, man.
I'll be kind of getting you on a lot more. And again, just kind of wishing you and kind of Hollington a successful season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Nice one, brother. Nice one.
Thank you.
All right. So, I don't know where Marlon is. Let's see if he turns up in the next couple of minutes. But I mean, again, in terms of the like performance, in terms of what I saw, I thought it'd be a closer game. I mean, Charcoal run away with it. It felt like they didn't really get out of second gear. And it's very hard for me to even name a man of the match because it just looked easy. Unfortunately, of course, like the goalkeeper made a few errors, but exactly what's been said is going in goal. Like it's not an easy feat, especially in a final, because if you make a mistake, more than likely it's gonna like cost you a goal. And unfortunately, like keeping made 2 or possibly 3 like mistakes. Nice top. Nice up in the, you know what? Listen, again, so with the tops behind me, I don't know if you can see. So that one on my there that I'm pointing to, that's Caldecott. In the middle is Independent, and on the far side is LSU. Just again, just trying to do like a few things differently. And again, if like anyone wants to send me one of their tops to actually be featured, please let me know. I'm looking to build a big collection. But yeah, it was a very, very strange game. Because again, Finney didn't really have that much space, and it was Mike had literally, I'd say, shut him out most of the time. But what Charcoal do really well, they just played really, really patient, and then they were just popping shots. Winning 5. You would think it was an entertaining game, but it wasn't. The West Fulham game was more entertaining. It again, as I said before, it just looked like Hollington just looked so overawed in terms of like the whole game, and which is a shame because I think a lot of the neutrals would have really liked Holland to kind of Hollington to kind of get a goal, or to at least make a fight out of it. I think probably what's the most disappointing thing, if you lose and you've played out your skin, you could probably go home happy. But if you've kind of lost and as a team, as a kind of collective, that you just haven't performed well, it probably hurts a little bit more. Yeah, to be fair, Micah could have gone twice. I'm sure He was on a yellow card as well. Took Finney out at least twice. Chase. You know, I honestly, because of the truth, I can't remember that. I mean, again, talking about the officials, I have a lot of time for the man in the middle. He's a very funny character. However, I think Danny Steele's yellow card wasn't a yellow card because like he got the ball cleanly. And there was just a few decisions that I think a lot of the fans were just a little bit puzzled about. You know, there was a bit of an altercation as well, but again, you know, I think the referee didn't want to send anyone off. Fair enough. So yeah, and Tony Steele, in football, there are levels, and Charcoal are on the top level. Listen, winning 3 competitions in your first full season, like no one can say anything. London Cup, League, and Beckenham. And again, you know, Charcoal have literally showed levels. Charcoal, the best team in London. Yeah, 100%. You know, no one can say anything. And if you guys follow me on like Instagram, Marlon said me, literally, I think he like tagged me in something, and I just had to kind of comment back, and literally say something. Okay, hold on. I've got a few. Okay, hold on. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. This is what I love about the live stuff. Let me hold on. Copy. But no, you can't go wrong. Okay, let me put that on. Okay, Marlon is on.
Sorry, I apologize.
There's no need to apologize. Congrats.
Thank you.
So how was it for you and the players? I mean, literally, I kind of spoke to one of the Hollington Town players, and it was a yeah, you know, it just looked like there was just levels that you guys were levels above. I mean, how was it for you playing?
Yeah, I mean, again, like you just mentioned, first of all, I just want to congratulate Hollington for getting to where they got to, and for what they've achieved this year. But yeah, like you said, I mean, look, if you put all the banter aside and stuff like that, there are levels to this. There are levels to this, and you know, we are just better. Sometimes there's, again, like I said about West Fulham, we are just better, and that's just what it is. Again, look, it's a learning curve for them, and I'm sure they'll come back stronger.
How was it for you playing? Because as a spectator, it felt as if you guys didn't come out of second gear, and again, as a for a spectator, it was. You know, it was a foregone. It looked like it was a foregone conclusion moment the second goal went in.
Well, I'd say from the start. I mean, look, I think they went out with a game plan. They set up with a game plan that they felt was right. For us, I mean, that was comfortable for us. For us to keep the ball, for us to move it, for us to, I think they felt that we was going to get frustrated with it. Never going to happen, because at any point in the game, we've got too many players that can turn the game on its head. So for us, that's comfortable for us. We don't have to go out and win 4 or 5-0. We don't have to go out and win, 6s and 7s. If we win a game 2-0, 1-0, we're happy with that. So there's only so much pressure that they can sustain.
Marlon, you look, you seem very not subdued, but this isn't the energy I thought you'd be coming onto the stream with.
No. So again, look, there's maximum respect to those boys. So just a little bit of history, and yeah, I will have a dig, just a little bit of history. So those group of players are they're family at the end of the day, they're foundation. But I feel that, again, like I mentioned to you on the show on Friday, a lot of those boys in that team, they've played in teams with me. whether it be little tournaments elsewhere, and they've always been in my shadow. So now this was a time for their stage to say, actually, you know, and maybe get brownie points or whatever, and try and knock me off my pedestal. But that was never going to happen. So now I'm back. Now you've drawn me out now, Tobrise. Never going to
you know what I mean? I think for like me, the moment I saw Danny on, I was kind of surprised, and I was kind of watching him for a good 5 or 10 minutes, and like he looked like he like had a bit of a hobble on, even like when he was walking. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but like I was thinking, you know, because Marlon was sitting next to me, as in Shugs, and I was like, isn't Danny injured? So I mean, like, what was that conversation like? And you know, was it something that you guys spoke about in terms of protecting your captain and literally how you guys were going to play?
Look, it's always going to be a difficult conversation because no one really wants to miss out on a cup final, and B, it's about the team as well. So there was a full process of, does he start, and you know, if he starts and breaks down, where does that leave us? Or you know, if he comes on and breaks down, where does that leave us? So look, we're all grown men and we know our own bodies, and you know, Dan's you know, I think we all had that thing in our head because Dan's very, you know, he's 100%. So he doesn't just get through games. He's all or nothing. So that was one thing we was worried about as well. But look, we trusted him to say that he was fine, and the manager made a call, and that was that really. Okay.
I've got your gaffer on as well.
Champion, champion, ole, ole, ole.
What's that in, T?
Congratulations. And,
yeah, much appreciated.
I mean, how like was the game for you?
To be honest, it was a bit of a walk in the park. Like you said, we didn't really get our second gear. But saying that, it's a final. You've got to turn up and you've got to do the business. And I think there is levels. And like your man said way back a year ago, no one remembers runners up.
So, so like now, okay, so again, and I will kind of confess to you guys, you know, it hurt me just seeing you guys collect everything and literally just having those 3 trophies there. I was thinking,
what these old things? We talking about them old things?
You know, it's, you know, literally this like now should kind of give teams like, you know, other teams, other like managers now that hunger. I mean, how, you know, to like you, James, how are you gonna motivate the lads? And again, to you, Marlon, what are you gonna do individually to kind of create that kind of chip on the shoulder mentality that I believe you guys had this season? And I'll start with James.
To be honest, with our group of players, it ain't going to be very hard. As far as I'm concerned, this has been and gone now. We're already looking at next season. We've already got players in mind that want to come in. Listen, you do it once, you're going to get all the haters that are going to tell you it was a fluke. So we'll just do it again next year. We're probably going to give back that Beckenham Cup because we only went in it because somebody said that we couldn't win it. So we just knocked the holders out and then went and took it.
Who is that, James?
Who was that? Oh, you know, Independent it was. So, yeah, we're probably going to give that back because I want to win the Kent Cup. So next year we'll defend the London Cup, we'll enter the Kent Cup and defend the league. But with our group of players, I don't think it's going to be too hard to motivate them to defend what they've rightly earned this year.
Okay. And to you, Marlon, I mean, how are you going to keep that desire?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, like we talk about levels now. That just mean when you talk about levels, that doesn't just mean, you know, what you can do from an ability perspective. That's a mentality that you have. That's processes. That's application, and it's just everything that we got a group of boys that all believe in the same thing, and that is winning. And that's the hunger that we have. Again, like I revert back to it all the time. That last season when we lost against West Fulham, not even in the Glebe game, but the West Fulham game, that I believe that really sent a trigger through everyone, and I don't think anyone wants to feel that way again.
And to you, James, I can't even take you. So
I'm just holding my chest out, Big T. That's all I'm doing.
No, listen. I mean, again, like like yourself and like Marlon have kind of talked the talk, and you've kind of walked the walk as well. It's kind of something that now, as I've said before, has now probably ignited a lot of people, including myself, in terms of the celebrations and accolades, and again, kind of building like a new trophy cabinet. It's going to be a very interesting season now in like Div 1, with the kind of teams that have now come up now. How like do you view how Div 1's going to be next season? And I'll start with Marlon.
Well, already we've got one foot in front already, because I've got people who I didn't even know could play football calling me, and they're from Independent, people from Santos. They're calling me next season this, next season. I didn't know you could play football. Now you come out the woodwork. Anyone who comes against us next season is going to get run over. And for us, we're going to have to apply ourselves properly, because we are the team to beat. Every time anyone plays against us, it's going to be a cup final. Now that in itself is just motivation. That in itself is motivation. It's a cup final for anyone to beat us. It's bragging rights. Someone said to me the other day, I'll give you a joke. I didn't even tell you this, Gaffer. Someone said to me the other day, this is from someone from, who's the new boys that come up? Santos.
Yeah.
Santos. Someone said to me from Santos the other day, we don't even care about winning the league. We just want to beat you.
But we've had it all year. We have it every game. You know, when people say, oh, we're playing the champions, that's when people raise their game. Let's be honest, T, you back this up as well. Since the day we started, because of the talk, it's almost been like we've been champions every single week. I'll go and watch games when people play Glebe and whoever, and the other team turn up with bare 11, if that. Yeah, they get their manager to get changed. They come and play us, and there's 20 bods. They've got subs that can't get changed. And that was before we won the league. But that's something you've got to carry with you. If you want to be the best and you want to talk the best, then you've got to expect that everyone is going to want to beat you. Every game we play is a cup final for the other team.
Shugs has come on and said, you said you were unveiling 2 new players yesterday.
I told you me. I don't get involved in that.
I don't know. Like, Shugs is.
You know what? There was so much confusion before the game. As you know, we had to sort of book the venue ourselves, Tobrise, because what they tried to make us play on wasn't safe for our players, and I refused to play the cup final. Luckily enough, Billy agreed to it as well. So when I arrived there, an hour and a half early, there was a lot of confusion going on with the man that runs the cup, who was taking the money. We was in disagreement, and I should have really been concentrating on the game and the 2 players that I wanted to have a chat with, but it just weren't possible. And then obviously at the end, when champagne was flying about, my daughter was on the pitch, fans were there, it wasn't the top of my priority. But we've got a list of 7 potential new players. Obviously, there's going to be players that are going to call it a day now because their legs have gone or whatnot. And there's a list of 7, and if I can get 4 or 5, I'll be very happy. So all in good time. All in good time.
Can I just add to that, James? I think you need to reword what you just said. It's not about, a few players that we're looking for. Players are contacting us now.
Yeah, of course.
We're attracting players. Players want to be a part of what we're doing. And that's not just on the football pitch, in terms of charities, etc. What we've got going on, fun days. I mean,
but yes, that is right. And I do get messages weekly. But what I was trying to say was every season, especially with a vets team, you'll always have to rebuild. Not because the team isn't good enough, because that team I've got, they will win it again. They will win the league again. Mark my words, they will win the league. But there's players in the team now that have got different commitments, priorities, injuries, and I've already been looking at possibilities to come in. But anyone that comes in has to come into the charcoal way. You can't just come in and be your own person. You need to fit into our way as a group, as an individual, what we do outside of football. Because if you could be the best, I'm not going to say it. I've got players that contact me from Fisher days, Dulwich days, but I know they wouldn't work in this group. So you can't bring somebody in that could upset the whole group, you know?
Catford have come in. Well done, boys. Charcoal been different levels this season. Let's have that right. Hey, I mean, again, you know, James, you've like definitely split people's opinions. I'm gonna call you the Piers Morgan of grassroots football.
I'll take that.
But you know, you've kind of you like, you know, sent audio messages and you know, like you said, you know, outright that you know you were gonna win everything, and literally that's kind of what you've done. You know, no one can say anything, and again, you know, of course I'm gonna be doing a league rundown, you know, teams in Div 1 and Div 2 and maybe Div 3, you know, if I know, but at this present moment in time, you know, Charcoal are favourites to win the league. Like, no one can say anything apart from that. You know, you've won everything in your first season. God knows what you guys have planned for like next season. So yeah, you guys are favourites to like win the division next season.
Yeah, well, I'll take that. But I believe we was favourites to win it at the start of the season. So it is nothing changes. You didn't think so. I told you, but nothing changes, Tobrise. And the difference with us is people can say, I mean, I'm not going to say who, but a player for a team that ended up second this year, when they ended up second and when we won the league and we won these two, they've messaged me and said, but we only play for fun. When it didn't look like you was playing for fun against Catford. But look, if I'm going to do it, we're going to do it properly. Nothing changes. We approach the season in the exact same way we did this year, other than that the Kent Cup will be involved this time. So we go again.
Okay. And James, where can they find Charcoal? Any social media
Probably
handle?
just at the top of the league, Tobrise. No, look, everyone knows we've got a social media platform. It's only got about 2,000 followers, nothing major on it. Send a message there if anyone wants to come. I always saying that we're looking for new players. As you know, we do a lot of charity work. Our home ground is the Oaks in Eltham. We do a pre-season training, starts on the 1st of August, and everyone is welcome. I think we're going to team up with Catford this year, our good mates, because I predict that they're going to walk Division 2, walk it easily. From what I see the other day, I'm very proud of Ainsley, what he's done there. And the Catford team, I'll be honest, I wouldn't like to play them at the moment. I think they're raw, ruthless. So they'll be joining us for pre-season. But let's not forget, Tobrise, on the 28th of August, we got the Vets Charity Shield, which is the London Cup winners for the Kent Cup winners. So there could be another old bit of scrap sitting there by then. And what is that? That's the quadruple, no? It's just getting silly, though, isn't it?
Okay. We'll Oh, James, man, James. But hey, no, again, congrats, and again, Marlon, thank you for kind of coming on and you know, again, that the energy, that the passion that you guys have. Again, you know, people, if not, you know, if they're not taking notice now, they will take notice.
Yeah.
And I think David's well done, James and Marlon, top boys. And again, I think next season in like Div 1, it's you know, going to be a very, very, very interesting battle between, you know, a few teams.
Looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. James, Marlon, thank you guys for like coming on.
Thank you, Tobrise.
Thank you.
Easy.
So that's James and Marlon from Charcoal. And again, you know, I'm gonna kind of do a show. But you know, if you kind of look at how like things have panned out this season, Charcoal must be favourites for Div 1, but of course, Glebe, LSU, Independent, Santos, and New Park will all have a say in literally where that league trophy will end up. And again, that's kind of reason why Vets football at this present moment, especially within like the London area, especially within the South anyway, I mean, it's very, very, very competitive. And, you know, like the levels of now, I've just kind of gone up that extra level. And again, like big shout out to like the Santos guys who were there yesterday. And again, you know, in terms of their setup and literally what they're looking to achieve, they're not in Division 1 to kind of make up the numbers. Independent as well, finishing second. Like the players that they have, you know, and again, the kind of aggression, and not only with the players, it's the club as well, you know, independent club. They kind of have an ethos and like they have an objective as well. So again, do not write off any like teams that have come up. New Park that have been there, Glebe that have been there, LSU that I know that are going to be hungry, and again something that I just want to say, and I'll kind of probably elaborate a lot more. I think with kind of LSU, you know, I think their production, their media production, I think a lot of people are going to be very, very, very surprised. I'm going to literally put them up there with the likes of SC Dons, with the likes of Beatties, with the likes of Hashtag. You know, they are literally building an absolute monster of a brand. So, you know, it's going to be absolutely scary when you kind of see what like a lot of these teams are going to be doing next season. And again, Hollington, thank you kind of so much for like your support. Catford as well, that are kind of doing stuff behind the scenes on like socials that I can, and again, Ainsley, that's kind of always out there supporting each and every team as well. Cray Wanderers, cannot forget about Cray. They may not talk a lot on socials, but you know, like you can't rule them out. They like finished second. Oh, sorry, not second, third. So you know, like you can't just underestimate a team that's not out there on them socials. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to like this season. Next season, however you like frame it. But again, let me go what Jack said. Anything is possible with the right backing, grassroots football hitting new levels. Looking forward to seeing more Vets football next season. And again, thank you so much for like Jack. And again, this is why I kind of I'm like probably now focusing more on the vet side. You know, Jack is a young man that, you know, probably knows a little bit of about vets in terms of his like area, but you know, this like show is to showcase what's going on in South, and to and to showcase characters, teams, results, decisions, because again, you know, that's kind of what we need within Vets football, especially. And Vets football will only grow. And again, without you guys, without your support, you know, that the vet scene will not grow. Looking forward to like next season, especially with the platform. I will tell you this now for free. What I want for the show, and it is going to happen. I'm looking to get a few people from the league committee onto the show just to kind of have a conversation. It's kind of not an ear bashing or whatever, but you know, we need people from the Southern Sunday League. I know Nana's part of the committee, but I think it'd be good to kind of see other like faces. And again, if like anyone's got any shirts from last season that they want to DM me and like give them to me, I'm gonna be covering up my ugly mug, and then I'll be doing shirts in the background. Because again, this is a football show. It's not like a modeling agency. So honestly, guys, thank you so much for your support. I'll be back next week. I can say it's funny how I'm talking about vets, but next week it's not going to be a vet show. It's I'll be talking about the kind of Croydon League. I was commissioned with like Jack to actually film a few of their finals. So we'll be talking to the managers and players about the results, and I think it's going to be pretty fiery. Anyone that kind of knows, and Croydon, the people around here are very fiery and literally don't hold back. So next week it's all about the Croydon League and the finalists, and I know that it's going to be a lot of trash talking. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you to all of the guests. And I will see you next week, Sunday at 8 o'clock, all live. Please like and subscribe and share. Thank you guys for watching and listening. My name is Tobrise, the best grassroots centre back in the universe. Yeah, I will see. Oh, hold on. Wait there. There's one more comment. There's one more comment before I go. Let me. Do you think next season, rather than having 9 or 10 sides per league, Division 7, it would be better to have 12 or 13 teams split over 5 leagues, making it more competitive? 100%. 100%. I think 5 leagues is enough. I think 7 leagues. Well, I don't know. Oh, question. You know what? There's going to be some teams. There's going to be some teams and some players that will want to play just for fun and just to kind of get out there. Not every team are going to be like Glebe, Charcoal, Independent, LSU, Santos that are going to be competing for honors every single season. They are going to be certain teams that just want to come out and play. And there's going to be some players that haven't played for 10, 20 years that just want to come out and play. So I see what you're saying, but you play for one of the better teams, like the more competitive teams. So I see it from your angle. But there's other players and teams that are just forming and just want to, again, just to get out. So you know what? I think it should be 7 leagues because again, there's literally going to be some players that just want to play, and football is for everyone. It's not just for the competitors that literally want to win medals. They're for people that just want to walk out with and literally spend some time with friends that they've not seen in 20 years. So yeah, I believe in having 7, even 8 leagues, depending on how many teams want to join. Shugsy just says, stop bubbling and just end the show. I'm not narcissistic at all, Shugsy. And that's rich coming from you. That's very, very rich coming from you. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week, 8 o'clock live. As always, have a blessed week.